Okay, on 16.8, it talks about your business may sell some merchandise at sale prices to attract customers that have make room for new merchandise. The markdown or discount is the difference between the regular selling price of the item and its sale price. The markdown rate is the markdown expressed as a percent of the regular selling price of the item. Any of you guys go shopping this weekend? Anywhere? Online? Derek, was there anything that you bought online that was for sale?
Yep, that's all I buy.
Yeah, me too. That's all I buy too. I am in the market right now. I'm looking and researching which garage door opener I need to buy because mine went out on me finally. So I need to buy a garage door opener.
How much are those?
You can get one anywhere from about $100 to $300. So it's not as much as I thought originally, but that's what I'm looking at. So where did I go? You know, there's a couple. I didn't go anywhere this weekend. I just went online, like you said. I went to the Home Depot site. I went to Sears, and I went to Menards because that's basically about all the places I can buy them here in town. You bought a subwoofer? Ooh, is your car okay?
Yeah, my car's okay.
Good. But that was one thing I looked at was whether or not it was on sale. One of them I'm looking at was on closeout because they actually are. It's an older model, so they're trying to close it out, and it was like 170 something. That's closed out for 138. Comes with everything I want, so that's the one I'm probably going to get. However, there's other things and bells and whistles out there like I can open it with my cell phone. And I don't know if I want that or not. That would be about an extra $20. Okay? So, anyway, that's, for me, a lot of times I don't usually buy anything regular price unless it's something I absolutely have to have. Whether or not, like during hockey season, if I break a hockey stick, I usually don't wait till they go on sale. I need one. So, therefore, then I buy one right away. Okay? Right, Tyler? If you break one, you're not going to just not skate with one. You're going to have to go buy one. Okay, so that's something that normally I don't wait for. But the markdown, just so we have a formula for it, markdown is done by taking the regular selling price minus the sale price. Okay? And then to express that as a rate, which Derek has expressed to us many times, rate is always a what? Good. You take the markdown and you divide it by the regular selling price. Now, just so that you guys are aware of it, especially this chapter and this section alone, a long time ago, when I was my first teaching job, I needed to supplement my income because I couldn't afford just living on a teacher's salary. So I needed to get a second job. One of the places I applied was Shields. Okay? And when you go to work for Shields, one of the things that they need you to do is they have you taking a test. Okay?
Is it easy?
Did you work there, Shelby?
No, I was trying to get a job there, but...
And you had to take a test.
Yeah,
and the math portion on it was a lot of this stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is it that test where he asks you, like, about your, like, weekly?
No. They're asking you mainly about if you know about a little bit about the product, if you can do this type of math. Okay? That was one thing, and I had a friend of mine that worked at Shields at the time, and she said, you were the only person to get the math part 100% right. Which
You're a math teacher.
I said duh. But there's a lot of things that people don't know how to do that. Okay, which we're going to subtract, we're going to divide. That's pretty much what the gist of it is. Long story short, though, I never did work at Shields. I got my job at Sears. Made more money. Okay? So, anyway, on number 1, on page 538, number 1 says the regular selling price is $80. It's on sale for $60. So the first thing that it wants you to do is find the markdown. So if it was 80, now it's on sale for 60. If I subtract those, Dennis already told me $20. He was right. Okay. Now, in order to find the markdown rate, you take that $20 and you divide it by the original selling price. Which one of those two numbers was the original selling price? The 80. All right. And what's 20 divided by 80? 25%. Ends up being 0.25. But as we've mentioned, I don't know how many times in here so far, we're at 25%. Those two numbers are my answer for number 1. Okay? Number 2. The regular selling price is $174.79. It's on sale for $104.87. First things up, we need to subtract those two and find out how much it was being marked down. What's 174.79 minus 104.87? 69.92. Okay? Then, in order to figure out the markdown rate, we take that 69.92 and divide it by what? 174.79. And when I get that number, what do I get? 40%. Now, as a business owner or as a salesman or whatever, think about that. Are you going to want to go in and say, hey, I'm marking this, let's use garage door opener because 174 is about what they are. Hey, I'm going to mark down this garage door opener $69.92. Or are you going to say it's marked off 40%? Which one sounds easier to say? The first one. Yeah, right. Okay? You're not going to go in there and say, I'm not going to work at Home Depot and say, yep, I'm going to mark this down $69.92 for you. I'm probably going to say it's going to be 40% off. Doesn't that sound easier? Yeah. And a lot of people understand that. Now, they might not necessarily know what the 40% of it is, but they'll at least know, bless you. They'll at least know that 40% sounds like a decent deal. Okay? So anyway, that was number 2. Number 3. A chainsaw at regular price was $349.95. The sale price is $319.95. Find the markdown and then find the markdown rate. So the first thing up, we got to subtract the two numbers. What's the how much? $30. That's the first number. Then we're going to divide it by what number? $349.95. And when I do that, remember this is going to be the decimal, and we got to move it 2 places over. What number do I get? 8.5. Not really a big sale, is it? 8.5% off. However, that's also 8.5% off that you didn't have before, right? Okay, so think about that. As Derek was mentioning that he bought some stuff and shopped online, and anything he always buys is on sale. I'm in the same. I agree with him. I always buy stuff on sale. I'll never, hardly ever buy anything at regular price. Even if I do need a new hockey stick, I usually get a 10% discount just because I coach. So even then, I get something off. Okay. Number 4, an office desk is regularly priced at $359.99, and the sale price is $249.95. First of all, to find the markdown, let's subtract those numbers. What do I get? 110.04 cents. That is the markdown. Then I got to divide it by what number? The $359.99, and that's going to be a percent or a decimal. And when we move it 2 places over, what do I get? 30.6%. Which a lot of times, as a salesman or as a former salesman, I would have probably just said it's 30% off. Round it to the nearest thing. However, if you put 30.6, that's probably more accurate. However, just so that you do know that if, as a salesman, you're not going to say it's 30.6% off, I'm probably just going to say 30. Just because it's easier to try to hook that person in. Okay? So, Anyway, if you look at the chart from 5 through 8, what it's doing for you, it says 25 minus 20 equals part A. That's finding the markdown. And then you divide it by the regular price. And then that's part B. Same thing with 9 through 13. 14, it says this. Find the markdown rate for each item. Not just one of them. Then for part B, which item has the greatest markdown rate and which item has the greatest dollar markdown. Okay, so for part C, after you subtract all those ones, part C wants you to tell me which one had the greater marked off. And then part B, which one had the greater rate. 15 is find the markdown rate. And then 16 is also find the markdown rate for each item. Okay? So again, we're going to subtract, and on 15's case, it's already been subtracted for you. It already gives you the amount, that the sale price. It already tells you it was 30% off, or $30 off. So that gives you the markdown. And you just got to divide it by the rate. So we're going to go page 538 to 539, 1 through 16. And again, tomorrow is the day where we go through all the formulas, go through everything else, clean up everything. Wednesday will be your test on chapter 16. Okay?